Why should you join the Livingston County Republican Party?
Why, you ask?
Yeah, why?
Why join?
The Republican Party is the party of common sense.
Common sense.
Republicans support the Constitution.
Republicans protect your rights.
We fight to keep your children safe.
We fight to keep boys and men out of girls' and women's sports.
We fight to keep boys out of girls' restrooms.
We fight for you.
What does the Republican Party do?
We help Republican candidates get elected.
Why is it important to elect Republicans?
Why is that important?
Why?
Tell me, why is that important?
Livingston County is one of the safest counties in Michigan.
Livingston County has one of the lowest crime rates in the state of Michigan.
Livingston County has the lowest tax millage rate of all 83 counties.
Republicans work to balance the budget.
Republican legislators vote against raising your taxes.
Republican elected officials believe in transparency.
Republican clerks run elections with integrity.
Republican trustees protect your rights.
Republicans support our veterans.
Who can join?
If you are conservative, we want you in our party.
All conservatives are welcome at our table.
Join our activities.
Join the fun.
Become a member.
Join us now.
Hi, I'm Deb Drick, Chair of the Livingston County Republican Party. Our conservative message has been very well received in Livingston County, and I'm so happy to share with you that people are stepping up right and left to help. The only thing's missing is you. Come join our mission. Come join our fun. Go to livingstonrepublicans.com and click join. You'll be glad you did.
Someone once said, where your treasure goes, there also will be your heart. What kind of world do you want to invest in? Do your investments fund industries that tempt people to harm relationships? What if you could be more intentional with your money? What if your investments built content that enriched others' minds? Jason Huntley, CFP, has been guiding families for 30 plus years to plan, invest, and build for the next generation. Scan the QR code now to make that first step to invest.
Good evening and welcome to the right side, the last one for January 27th. I am Deb Drick and I am the chair of the Livingston County Republican Party, and I've got my counterpart here from Jackson County, Russ Jennings, who's the chair out there. We're glad to have you here, and we're going to have a good chat about what's going on. But before we do, we have to recognize our exactly half the Wayne County Republican Party. Chase might change your, yes, you did. I see that. That's probably better. Always
usual suspects up there.
Yes.
Right.
Yep. We're glad Mark came. Anyway, it's funny, Mark, because I saw a delegate thing or some kind of meet and greet with the AG candidates, and I was scanning the audience for you as I was watching the video, and then I saw you pop up with your statement. I wish I could have been there. I thought, well, I'm going to stop looking now. So we're glad Mark's here. Russ, just let's introduce you to a little bit to our watchers out here in Livingston County that don't know you. Start with your personal bio. Give us kind of
personal bio,
your background, where you grew up, that sort of thing.
Grew up in a rural Jackson County community, Napoleon, Michigan.
Oh, yes.
And I lived the last 25 or 30 years. I always say across the lake.
Okay.
I live on a lake, and one side's Napoleon, the other side's Michigan Center, and I live in Michigan Center.
Okay.
So I haven't ever went far.
Okay.
And I'm a Leone Township trustee. That's the township I live in. I was just elected in 2024. And a second term chair of the Jackson Republican Party, and father of four. Two of them are out here, rode all the way over here for us, so that was nice. Hanging out with Dad for whatever reason.
Good.
And I'm also host my own podcast.
Okay.
That's what I kind of do for fun lately.
All right.
Me and my son Kevin do all kinds of podcasts, really, too many to keep track of. But and married, beautiful wife, and kids are all grown up and out of the house, and that's nice.
I'm going to kick you under the table. Look at me up there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's the rule,
Yeah.
What's the, how long have you been married? And what's your wife's first name?
My wife's name is Sarah. We've been married 10 years.
Okay, nice. Well, congratulations.
We've been together 20 plus.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I get it.
Yep, that's the wife that,
you're still
knocks some sense into me.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we all good men have a wife like this somewhere in their
thankfully.
history. Yes, of course. So what's your professional background? Like, what did you do for a living, etc.?
I was one of these guys that always thought the grass was always greener on the other side of the fence.
Okay.
And, I did over a decade as a young man in the Department of Corrections as a corrections officer, not an inmate. And and I left that career as a very young man and went into sales, and basically sales, marketing is my background. And then at the tail end of my career, I'm retired now. My wife and I gave up our careers and we bought a bar restaurant.
Okay.
And we did that.
That's right.
We did that for 7 years. And I'm glad that's over with. That's a lot of work for not a lot of money. But it was a part of our life, and
sure.
I don't regret it any bit. But that was it. And then that's when I got involved in the Jackson Republican Party.
Well, look at that next question. What a nice segue. My next question was going to be, tell us about your start in politics.
So I've always been a Republican, and I would occasionally go to township meetings. I paid attention to what was going on in the community, and if something struck me as I wanted to put in my input, whether it's positive or negative or whatever, a couple times a year I'd go to a township meeting or something, and I usually always voted. I can't say always as a younger man, but I've usually always voted. I don't know if I ever voted for any Democrats ever.
Okay.
I may have over the years. But when I owned my bar, I had a customer that came in once or twice a week for a burger and fry, and he was part of the Jackson Republican Party, and he talked to me about precinct delegate. And next thing you know, I'm on the ballot as a precinct delegate, and then I was one of those delegates. I went to my first county convention. That was the first meeting. I hadn't even been to a meeting.
Oh wow!
And it wasn't thrilling. I didn't like it. I didn't feel welcome. But for some reason, I just kept coming back. I just kept going to the meetings, going to their subcommittee meetings, and 6 months, maybe a year, I became an executive committee member and just stayed involved. Liked events.
How long ago was this?
Well, I think it's about 11 years ago.
Okay, all right.
So, 11 years. And then I was the treasurer. No one ever wants to be treasurer of the county party.
No.
It's hard to find.
It is.
There's a lot of responsibility, though, because if they're the ones holding the bag if things go wrong in reporting or whatever.
Right.
And I had no business being a treasurer. But I had a plan. I wanted to be vice chair.
Okay.
And I thought, hey, I bet you I
Treasurer
could
would be a launch.
Yeah, let me be the treasurer. Our current treasurer, I made the deputy treasurer, and she actually did the work, but it made me an officer. I wanted to be able to vote in all the subcommittee meetings and things like that.
Right.
So I bring that up because I called myself a Tino, treasurer in name only. Right. And then, there was an upset in our party, like many county parties had, and I ended up being the only guy standing.
Right.
And next thing you know, I was the chairman. I thought, well, I'll do this for a little while or a term, and now I'm in my second term. So it's kind of what I do now.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, this was about 11 years ago, you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
I always forget the year.
Yeah, well, I know we do a lot. So what challenges do you see that the GOP faces this year?
Top of mind.
Okay.
Top of mind right now, unity within the party.
Yeah.
I even see it at a county level. Oh, I've seen it worse. We're doing pretty good in Jackson, but I'd like to see a little more unity there. I do know unity on a state level is difficult. I think it's better than a couple years ago. Maybe I'm naive. Always these candidates, so many candidates on our side for governor and things like that. I wish we could streamline that a little better. I don't have the solution to it. Primaries are difficult, and how we survive them is a challenge. We always do. I'm one of these guys, fight like hell for your candidate in the primary.
That's
and
right.
Come around in the general and support the nominee. I'm serious about that. But I think our challenges really are qualified candidates, which, boy, we got a lot of them right now. You and I were just talking about it before the show. But the challenge is going to be those low propensity voters. We have to get voters out to vote for our candidates. And low propensity voters was an issue in 24 with Trump at the top of the ticket. So in 26, it's going to be even a bigger challenge for us that we have to get our arms around. And the sooner we can do it, the better.
Agreed. So what do you see as changes from when you started involvement 11 years ago till now? What's gotten better and what have we lost? If you can do that.
Redistricting.
Oh God, that's awful. Awful.
That's the first one, and I think the hugest hurdle that we've had since I've been involved is redistricting.
I agreed. I don't know that I'd have come up with it that quickly. So kudos to you, but boy, you're not kidding. That was awful.
And then things change. I'm not saying for the better or the worse. Boy, I've seen some things get better and some things get worse.
Sure.
Not anything comes top of mind right now, but redistricting was a challenge. Jackson County, other than the city of Jackson, was a solid red county. We had 2 state representatives, always Republicans. We were the home of a state senator, Mike Shirkey at the time. Of course, Congressman Wahlberg's always been our congressman. He got redistricted, but it didn't affect him. It probably helped him. But, Jackson County now is represented by, I think, 4 state house seats. 2 of them are currently held by Democrats.
Yep.
And that's the challenge, redistricting.
It's interesting that you said that because people talk about Livingston County and I tell them I describe it as red, red, red. And my statement has always been, we don't have we don't have a Democrat elected to a partisan office. But now that you're saying that, I forgot during redistricting, we got a 3rd state rep. Yeah. And it just carries a, kind of a portion of our county, but it also is in Washtenaw. So,
Yeah.
And
so what you're saying is
we do have one.
We share a state representative now. Is that what you were getting at?
Too? Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she is. She's part of
that's right.
Yeah, she's part of Waterloo.
The seat Ignatowski's running for.
Yeah.
Right.
The one, yes. So I forget about that one, but I don't.
That connects us though.
It does, but I don't. I have a hard time associating her with our district because we've had 2 for so long that I keep forgetting about that. I can't say that anymore. So now I got to say we're everybody but one.
Well, I'm still trying.
Dan Arbor outvoted us.
I'm still trying to get used to the numbers. District 47, 48.
I know.
We have a longtime state representative, Sarah Leitner.
Yeah.
She got redistricted to a safe district.
Well, that worked out good for her.
But I forget the district number.
She's awesome.
I think it's 45.
It could be.
So here we are. How many years since redistricting? 4 anyways? 5? We're probably 5 in.
Yeah. It'll be,
and I'm still still not getting used to the numbers. What number is this? And I reference the person a lot.
Right.
Since candidates have been surfacing this cycle, I know what District 48 is and 47 is.
Sure.
And of course, Kathy Schmaltz represents the heart of Jackson County, and that's 46. So
she's awesome too. You have some very, very good state reps over
there.
The
ones we have are
Republicans.
Are good reps.
They're terrific. We have, of course, we have Jason Wolford, who's a freshman this year. He's coming into his second year. He's rocking it out. You're not kidding. Well, he is not. He is not letting grass grow under his shoes. And then you've got Ann Bolin over here on the in the 49, who's the appropriations chair, and she's just what do they call it? We don't have a Doge there, Bolin. We have Boge.
Yeah, her Matt Maddock are
the Boge.
Cutting it as close to the bone as they can get. Calling it out.
So she's on top of everything. So she's doing a fantastic job. So I like to think that we don't have anything in the south end of the county like that, but the two we do have are like more than making it up for it. So if we can get Brian elected there, then we've really got some good stuff.
Wolford ran for 48, right?
Yep.
And he
when it was an open seat, the first
That's
year.
right.
Yeah.
It was an open seat, and like you said, that district only represents one township in Jackson County.
Right.
And it's not a very populated township. It's
right.
rural Waterloo Township, and Jason come around. Boy, we put a lot into him when that seat is that hurt our feelings in a way how that went down, and I was pleased. I think it was he moved and ran for the city he's in, and boy, he is doing an amazing job for a freshman in there.
Yes, he is, and he could have been yours.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't care where they live.
No.
As long as they're representing us in the House, right?
And I think that if Brian gets elected too, as being new, and he's new to this, totally new to this, and I think that but having run a year before, his name's a little bit more recognized.
It's gonna help.
And last time he told us that he would run if nobody else stepped forward. Nobody did, so he sort of got a last minute start.
Oh.
Now he started way early. Plus he ran last year, so I think he's got
and he's not missing a beat. He is not missing a beat.
Yes.
I have to say the last election cycle, I knew he was running. I belonged to an organization at the time that we went up and knocked some doors for him.
Sure.
It wasn't the Jackson GOP, but he's very approachable, easy to get a hold of, and we're going to put what we can into it.
Good.
It wouldn't matter if it's one township in Jackson County or not.
Right.
It looks like a seat that we could win.
It's one, but more
to
importantly,
increase hopefully the house, our house seats.
Well, and it's more importantly, it's not just we're winning, we're flipping it. That's better. When you flip, you get two because they go down one and you go up one. So that's
perfect world. That'd
two.
Be nice.
Yes.
But I think that's a flippable seat.
I think so too. And if it's not going to work, Russ, it's not going to be. If it doesn't work, it's not because you and I didn't put the time into it. I know you guys are doing an event for him this weekend.
Yeah.
We just did a nice ice cream social here that got him kind of launched with some money.
We'll get that ice cream social under our belt.
I'll tell you that worked well for him here.
But it's because I like.
Yeah, that's your last warning. From now on, it's a kick.
You're out of here.
No, just a kick.
You know what has me about the ice cream social, Deb? Look at me. I like ice cream.
Well, I'll tell you. Well, before you leave here today, we have leftover ice cream sundaes in there.
Okay.
But I'll tell you something. It is an easy. It's pleasant. People come, they make a donation, they get a sundae or a float. We also had a hot chocolate and a crock pot for people to have if they found it was a real cold day. So, and he
make a couple $dollars for him.
Oh, he did. Oh, yeah,
good.
He did very well.
At the end of the day, that's why you did it.
That's right. So he will. He's got some seed money to start moving around, start and get some stuff ready, and then I know he's got another event coming up here soon, another big event, and then we're going to throw a big event for him probably early May, right after the maybe mid-May, right after the filing deadline. No, the filing deadline. May. Because people have a hard time writing big checks until the.
I can't wait till after filing deadline. There'll be a couple people that'll
fizz out.
Come off it makes us focus better on.
I know
what we need to do.
I know it's so hard to focus on, when you got all these candidates out everywhere and they haven't got their, signatures in, and there's in some cases there's serious doubt whether they will get them.
Yeah, so, but you never know.
No, you don't. I know this. I treat everyone the same.
Yeah.
You are a gubernatorial candidate. You're welcome on the podcast. You have a you have a you're welcome at our events. If I open it up to gubernatorial candidates, any of them speak.
I don't
You know,
I don't hesitate.
Nope.
We had all the candidates for governor except for John James at our Lincoln Day dinner.
Yep.
We allowed them all to speak.
Yep.
We've had Mike Cox just pop in at our Christmas
Sure.
party. Genevieve
he's-
Peter Scott popped into our Christmas party, you know,
Yeah.
and I would never say they're not welcome.
Yep. We have Karen Bukowski here who is weighing in. It's time to dump Conlon. That would be the 48th Democrat right now that we were just talking about. She's supporting the anti-ICE movement and supports.
Of course.
Yes, she does, and I agree with you. And Lisa, Brian's working his butt off. Proud of him. Yes, we are all proud of him, and we're looking forward to more help. So
South of 48 that Brian's running in is 47, and we found a candidate, Justin Griffiths, to run against the Democrat in that district. Another Washtenaw County district. Now, the Washtenaw portion side is about 5 townships, and then about 5 townships in the Jackson side.
Right.
And we have our challenges. That's represented by Carrie Reinges, and the two of them. What's her name? The one in 48. I don't keep track of Democrats' names. Conlon's. They're very similar. I think they're bugs.
Okay. Well,
I think they're
then
bugs.
They need to make. They need to go.
Healthcare, universal healthcare for all is a big push for Carrie, and then I just seen a video of her anti-ICE and all that rhetoric that they're painting right now. So it'd be nice to eliminate one or both of them.
Oh, let's go for both.
I'm going for both, Deb.
Yeah, let's go for both. We want to make sure we
one way or another. I'm going for both.
Because again, when they go down and we go up, that's 2.
Yeah.
Let's keep majority in that house. And by the way, let's go for the senators, all the senators as well.
Deb, the challenge that I found when we all right, so redistricting came, we had a candidate for 47, and great candidate, we loved her. She lost. Okay, and the Democrat went in and took this new redistrict seat, and then 24 came around. There was a candidate. We never met the individual, a Republican candidate. We didn't even know anything about her. Campaign finance reports say raised 100, spent 100. I don't even know what was the point of running under the placeholder, but it wasn't even a good placeholder. So we were pleased when Justin approached us about wanting to run for that district. And when I started talking to residents of Jackson County, those 5 townships that 47 encompasses, most of them didn't realize they were represented by a Democrat. They have no idea. And I'm going to say active Republicans. I have an executive committee member who is awesome. She's the best Trump door knocker around. I asked her, I says, because the township she lives in, the line was near her home.
Right.
I said, what district do you live in? She didn't know. I said, well, did you vote for Schmaltz or did you vote for whoever that person was?
Right.
And she couldn't answer me. Now, more like she voted all Republican, straight ticket, and didn't know. But as I was talking to donors and people in that township, they really didn't realize that they were represented by a Democrat. So I do know that's the hurdle that we need to do in Jackson to convey these people that they still think they're in the world prior to redistricting.
Right.
You know, oh, well, we're represented by Kathy Schmaltz. Well, it's great because Kathy represents anybody she comes in contact with.
She's terrific.
But she doesn't represent those townships, their state rep.
Right.
She doesn't care who calls her. She'll answer the phone and help.
Good for her.
Like most will.
Sure.
So, but that's a challenge. And then again, the low propensity voters. We got to get those Republicans out to vote.
Well, once we get through the primary too, that's the problem with these contested primaries and these battlegrounds and things. They do take time and effort away from the work of just working on the get out to vote and the low propensity voters, et cetera, because you're trying to navigate bombs and
the
and
candidates
media
are
crisis
trying to
and-
get a head start
Sure.
anymore. And it's hard to get that head start financially, whatever the issues are when there's primary opponents. I appreciate the primary process. I get it.
I'd like to do it earlier.
I
that's
wish
all.
we could move it to the primary wasn't in August or
Don't we
spring.
now have a February presidential primary? Why don't we do it then?
Right.
Okay.
Maybe
that's something we need to work on.
At least the Michigan GOP, the state committee voted to move the endorsement convention for AG, SOS, the Supreme Court justices, U of M Board of Regents,
February.
MSU, to February. That instead of in August.
I don't think it's instead of. I think it's an addition to.
What do you? I didn't hear you.
I don't think it's instead of the one in August. I think they're still having the August one.
I think this is the recommendation of an
this is the
endorsement, and then
but-
we approve it in August, right?
Yes, but I think you approve it in August, and if somebody challenges it, or let's say we elect, candidate A and candidate B continues to run, and then candidate B can still challenge candidate A at the August
I think
convention.
it'll help clear the
but
field,
they've
though.
got to beat them by 2/3 of vote.
There you go.
So,
That's right.
And so if candidate A does something egregious, yes. All right, we got some questions here. Rob Rodriguez. Hi, Russ. Hi, Deb. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Anna Marie. All right, and we got, Perry Johnson's now in. So,
Yeah.
yes, he's getting in there late. I like Perry Johnson. I think he's a good man.
It surprised me. It surprised me, but didn't.
It surprised me that he got in so late. I don't know why he doesn't start earlier. Why does he wait till the 11th hour?
And I'm with you, Deb. I know Perry a little bit. I personally like him. People say all their weird things about him. I like the guy, and I like that kind of candidate.
Sure.
That comes from the business background.
Yes.
I'm one of these, and I'll catch heck for it here. I think Rick Snyder saved our state.
Oh, he did.
He saved our state.
You're not going to catch heck here. He did. I was
Jenny
there.
from the block Granholm ruined the
my
state.
God.
I almost think she's worse than Whitmer. And Rick Snyder come in that first term saved our state.
He did.
He really did.
Well, people don't know. I worked there during that time. My boss was on a probes. We did the deep dives. Oh my God. People do not realize how broke we were because Jen would take like the MIPSers, and she used fully funded stuff and pulled money out to put it in the general. And so she would look like she was on top of things, but the problem was, then all of a sudden there's big holes and things are going to collapse. So Snyder had to put the reins on all that spending. We had the first couple years where it was very lean, if you remember.
Yeah.
And it was hard, but he did. He took the tough way out. It stopped it. It stopped the bleeding, and then came the replenishing. So
Snyder and Trump aren't the same, but that business background
makes
to me makes a difference. And I look, Perry might have that in him, unlike the other candidates that are running do not have that business experience. One or two of them do come from business of a sort.
Sure.
So I'm not saying I'm jumping on the Perry Johnson bandwagon here, but
you can see
I'm
that
not
would be a
disappointed that he's in.
Right. Well, and
disappointed he come in so late, but
sure.
Yeah.
Well, and that's but you look at some of the Kevin Rinke's got that business background, so he has they have good strengths, but at the same time, the weakness that comes along with it is that they don't work with the legislature. Now, critics will say, well, that also means they're not bought. Well, it does, but that also means they don't know where to go to the bathroom, because I'll tell you something, I don't care who you are as a governor, and even Governor Snyder learned his lesson and admitted it publicly. He came in, there was something he wanted, and he just expected all the legislators as his little VPs to just go along with it, and they didn't. He didn't work through them, he didn't work with them, he didn't talk to them.
He didn't work around them?
He just did. He just did. Yeah,
maybe to a certain degree that's okay at first, but then something has to happen somewhere down the line.
Well, they didn't do it, and I know at one point I remember watching him get interviewed, and he was sitting there with Randy Richardville, and at the time it was Jace, the Speaker of the House at the time. I can't remember his last name. But he was getting interviewed, and they were asking him. He says, "Are you going to do this or something?" And he goes, "Oh no." He goes, "I learned my lesson." He goes, "We'll do this through the proper channels."
You're probably right. If you take the a business leader, Kevin
That's
Reinke,
right.
Rick Schneider,
Right.
Perry Johnson, they're used to running the show.
That's right.
Even though there's a board of directors,
That's right.
they run the show. You get to Lansing, you think that you run the show,
That's right.
and there's hurdles in the way.
That's right.
They're supposed to be equal branches of government.
Yep.
Right.
And that's the
I can see where there's a
that's
problem
the
there.
downfall, I think, as it pertains to having that business leader. Now, could they learn? Yes. And if they go in knowing that they need to have, they maybe pick an ex, they hire as their policy person an ex legislator or an ex chief of staff or something that's worked with the that's got that knowledgeable
More
base.
than likely, often they would handpick their people without looking at that. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So there's advantages to having that business background. There's disadvantages. So okay, we got.
I will say though, our candidates for governor, many of them are very qualified governor candidates. I think we're fortunate. Same thing with SOS and AG. I'm like, hey, any of them here. I think we're doing pretty good. I see your look there, Deb. I'm getting to know you.
I'm not saying a word.
I'm getting to know you a little bit, Deb.
I'm worried. I'm very worried. We've got some issues there, and you know what they are. So I cannot. I'm not going to go there, but.
I just experienced something.
Yep.
So,
okay. Well, is there a petition circulating for ranked choice voting? Is that still a thing? It's been quiet.
Dead.
I think it died.
It's dead.
Yep.
They said they'll bring it back in 28 potentially,
it's
but
not gonna. It's gonna die then too. So
Yep.
good.
Good news.
And I think as long as we're on the thought of failed petitions, I also believe that not ranked choice voting, the other one.
Citizens only vote.
Yes, no, not that one. That one's going
That's
well.
a good one. That's
a
going
good one. What's the other one? There's ranked choice voting.
The one that's children.
Axe My Tax.
Oh.
Axe My Tax, I think, is dead too. So that needed to die. Not that I disagree with no taxes.
And we can talk about that for a minute. You and I have been down this road.
Oh, that was.
I am all for the elimination of property tax.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just pull the plug.
No.
There's I think there's a way that it can eventually be done. People always want things right now. I don't know. I enjoy my streetlights.
Well, I'll tell you something. Anybody interested, go to the Right Side News, www.therightside.news.com. You'll see I did an article about Axe My Tax.
I remember that.
Oh, that thing got forwarded everywhere. But
I don't think the founder of Axe My Tax is going to come out one day and say, "Okay, we're done." That's not in their nature. But I've noticed it's been real quiet. You're not hearing anything they on their Facebook page or anything. It's been real quiet, other than her running for governor. She asked for
everybody to turn the stuff in, so it's done.
Right.
But anyway, for those of you who have not read that article,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, you. Hold on to that
it's
thought.
Either me or Chris.
I'm gonna get my sentence out here. Any of you who have not read the article, here's the link, or here's the address, therightside.news.com, and Axe My Tax. You can read the problems on it. Okay, Russ, go.
The thing that first concerned me when Axe My Tax first resurfaced, the second time.
Mm-hmm.
The first time, we went into 2024, a very important election year, and I had active members of the Jackson GOP that disappeared. They were circulating, consuming all their time with Axe My Tax. And it bothered me. Can we walk and chew gum at the same time? They were just into Axe My Tax.
Right.
They didn't knock a door for any of the candidates, not for Donald Trump, not for anything. And that was my worry going into this election cycle.
Okay.
But then the more I got looking at it and talking to you and others and just studying it, I thought, this is a great idea, but not like that and not now. But that was my number one concern, was they were focused on that, and they weren't helping us get, say, Donald Trump elected.
Yeah, that was a secondary concern of mine. My biggest concern was that it was going to ignite the left and unite them.
You are right.
Oh my God, I did not. Because
brought up the valid point to that.
It screwed with the schools, and I thought, you don't screw with the schools.
You come out with the MEA angle of that.
Yeah.
And,
oh my God, that would have been a nightmare. All right, we have Stephanie Miklos here who wants to know if Tudor Dixon's going to throw her hat in the ring. I will tell you, Stephanie, that you would knock me over with a feather if Tudor got in at this point. She got really beaten up bad. I think people went after her hard to try to run for Secretary of State. She declined, so I think she's doing well with what she's doing. I don't see her doing it. I mean, it's unfortunate because Tudor is smart.
Yeah.
She's intelligent. She's savvy to political
she's
knowledge.
sassy.
She's she got a little
sassy.
bit of sass
I like
to her.
that
I
sass.
do. Everybody does.
Yeah.
So okay, it'd be good. I mean, I hope that someday she runs. I don't know whether it's state rep or whatever
I
else.
see she's hosting a debate of some sort.
Yes. Yeah.
In the coming week
for
or two.
MRP or something in Grand Rapids.
Mm-hmm.
So we have.
She's around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Ashley Price. Do you guys know who's running for Michigan State Board of Education? I don't know. Do you know? Is somebody come
Bree
forward?
Mosenberg
that's right.
announced the other day.
Wait a minute. Is she? I looked at her platform. It looked Democrat to me. Is she a Republican?
Bree? Oh yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah. I know her from state committee.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then
oh,
good.
Yeah. But Bree did
because
announce.
I looked at her. About teachers should be allowed to teach and unchecked or
I did read her statement. I see where you could felt that.
Yeah,
but,
I thought, yowza. But I didn't make the conclusion. I just thought, well, I'm going to look into this a little bit
I didn't
better.
realize this, and before she announced, of course, I'd heard, and who the person that told me, I'm like, oh wow, I didn't even think of that. Do you know we had no candidates?
Yes. I had Tom McMillan on here, and
there's still one open.
I know.
Right.
Yes,
Scary.
we definitely
no Supreme
need
Court.
one other person.
No Supreme Court
Although
justices
somebody
right
told
now.
me there are two candidates that are sitting on their announcement that
Okay.
will be. But
I would
again,
assume so.
I don't know.
I would assume so. Scott Greenlee told me there's one on the hook.
Okay.
And I couldn't imagine there wouldn't be candidates, but boy, I wish they'd announce now so that we can all prepare.
Oh, I know.
Because Deb, you and I know this, but those are the most important seats that we need to start chipping away at.
Yep.
It's bigger than anything.
Yep.
So I hope that good candidates surface and we can take care of that. And then, of course, I guess there's a Board of Education.
I know.
Maybe you should run.
Yeah, you're not the first person that's told me that. I have I thought of other people that I think should run. But I don't know. I would love to support somebody. I'm glad to hear it because I read the Bree statement, and like I said, that statement, I thought, I didn't make a conclusion, but I thought, I better dig into this lady before I get excited here.
Then again, we don't have much choice if no one else jumps in here.
Well, I know, but
for you, it would be a good one.
But if she's on state committee, that at least that makes me feel a lot better.
Yep,
I'm glad we talked about this. So, Mark, the answer to that is we got one. Apparently, we could use another. So, if you know somebody, please send them our way. Well, because the Michigans, we'll all get behind them.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of just finding the right person. I can't elect Bill Reiber to anything else. I want to elect him to everything. Bill is really good at everything. So
is that your go-to person for
he's my vice chair, and he does a great job. Let's see. What are the name of the candidates for Michigan Board of Ed? Well, all we know is Bree. She's our only one. There's another opening. There's two.
Mark Ashley Price might be a candidate.
I know. There's two.
I think Mark's was on a school board.
Yes, I think he was. Yeah. So yeah, we're looking for two other names, that's for sure. Or other name.
I'm glancing over at your chest. I don't see my buddy Guppy yet.
Not yet.
He's usually in.
He comes on once in a while.
And of course, I'm not in there.
No, I know. I'm
hit and miss, but I'm in there often.
You're in there a lot. Yeah, you are. Usually coming about now.
Right.
Yeah, so
I I see it in the news feed.
That's true.
When I sit in my chair finally.
That's right. We're gonna send you a
an alert.
Alert. Yes, right.
I'll turn it off.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So by the way, let's see. Where am I here? By the way, right, there's a subscribe button down here somewhere. If you're watching that, would love to have you subscribe to this. Then you'll get are you subscribed?
I don't know.
Well, that's why you don't get an alert.
I
think if you subscribe, you get an alert.
The thing is I turn off all alerts except for a text message and my phone ringing.
And this one. Yeah, because I think you get a text. I would run only if I have. Mark says you'd only run if you have to. Well, hello, welcome to the world of everybody else.
I don't know about you.
We'd love for you to run, Mark. You could run with. You'd be up there with. You really enjoy. If I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. When I've had Tom McMillan on this podcast more than once, you have been very, very complimentary about him, and you've enjoyed him very much, and I do too. Tom hangs in there. Boy, he's just a tough cookie. He hangs in there, and I would love to get Tom a couple of friends up there. So anybody that is looking to run for state board, there's one Republican running against 2 sitting Democrats. And remember, I mean, right now it's a 6-2 majority, and if we can pull those 2 and get 2, that means it's a 4-4. So
the decision they made here a couple of months ago, the State Board of Education should really fire Republicans up to.
I know.
You would think so.
All the things that they do, it should. All we need to do is fire one of you people up. Come on, get going, get with it, chop chop. So and I'm looking at all the people that ran for state MRP, the executive committee there, and for the officers and stuff. One person per office won, and the rest of the people did not.
Oh.
Can't one of those people step up and do state board?
Are they mad? Not this far out, but.
What do you mean, Mr. Chair? Do I look like a Mr. Chair to you? You have a good memory. Oh no, that was you.
Oh,
okay. All right.
Well, Mark.
Yes.
Mark is a frequent on a couple of podcasts.
Yeah.
And so I'm quite familiar. And
yes. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had you, Mark, but nope, you got me. I stand corrected. All right, so we could use another school board.
I apparently watch too many podcasts myself. If I know that Mark is in a couple of other podcasts,
I know.
I better snap out of it.
That's right. He's watching you. So tell me, Russ, back to your GOP here. What would you say are the top things that Jackson County GOP does well as it pertains to GOP County GOP?
Let's start with this because if I don't, I'm in trouble.
All right.
Jackson is the birthplace of the Republican Party.
Go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we hang our hat on that.
You should.
And we often use it in our marketing as much as we can. Now, where we do excel lately in the last couple of years, we do a lot of events.
Okay.
Profitability hasn't always been, as a chair, you always want more.
Sure.
We've always profited on events, but we fundraise every month.
Good.
We fundraise every month. Back during COVID, when we weren't supposed to meet as a group, and we did anyways, the office building that we're in being in the city of Jackson, we thought they might mess with us, with our members or having an event. So they gave us a good deal on a large banquet room that they have a couple banquet rooms in that building. And we launched the Under the Oak Speaker Series. So we go back 2020 with that. And honestly, that was my idea, not my name. I said, hey, why don't we do this? And we bring in a guest speaker the hour before our executive committee every month.
Okay.
And we ran with it and came up with Under the Oak Speaker Series. And most months, I say most, because most months we have that speaker series prior to our executive committee meetings. And I've seen 100 people at them. I've seen 30 people at them. I see the average in the last couple of years is usually 50, and we charge $12.
Okay.
You get pizza and a beverage and a speaker. And we've had over the years a lot of different speakers, from elected officials to candidates to, like, we got James Dixon from the Michigan Enjoyer on in February. I mean, the range is all over. And but that's always helped us pay our bills.
Okay.
Now if we fundraise, for example, in March we're doing a chili cook-off.
Okay.
So since that's a fundraiser, we won't do a speaker series that month, more than likely. as long as we're fundraising at some level every month. And as you've been up there before, we do have a 10,000 square foot office space. And
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
I'm envious.
It's cheaper than it should be. In the building we're in allows us to sublease to help offset that cost. But we have bills to pay just like you.
Sure.
And it's funny, we just had a candidate forum a couple Saturdays ago.
Oh, everybody in the state knows about that candidate
Of
forum.
course. And you know what?
Anyway.
Not to go into that. It was such a wonderful event for that to happen the way that did.
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
But I had time to talk to the people that were there, 80 people, I guess. And I don't know why I thought of it. I had to tell them, you know, the county GOPs, we don't get money from the RNC and the Michigan GOP or anywhere. We fundraise ourselves. And I learned that during the Trump campaign. Our website, the phone number was hooked to my cell phone, so I was answering a lot of calls for yard signs.
Oh God, I thought I sacrificed.
Yeah,
No
we switched it midway through.
Yeah.
But in those conversations, a person would say, "Well, I gave $100 to the Michigan GOP. You get a part of that, don't you?" And it occurred to me, people don't realize that we fundraise on our own. But after I announced that at that forum, I had two people come up to us, both of them precinct delegates, and told me, I didn't know that.
Okay, pay attention, you people. Do you know that now?
Every dime we get to elect Republicans, right?
Right.
You have to fundraise it.
That's right.
The counties have to fundraise it.
We have a team.
And so the money don't roll down, but the money doesn't go up either.
Right.
We don't pay.
That's right. We don't pay dues.
It don't go up either. So
there's no tariff.
But that's huge. And you know, I always say we're a low finance resource county, but we're better than a lot of them out there. Let me tell you that.
So we're back to let's I got to keep you on task. My God, you go everywhere.
All right.
I
do.
So are you trying to say in a long way you do events well, or is that one thing that Jackson County does well is fundraise? Because that was the question.
So we fundraise, we do great events.
Okay.
Fundraising could be up and down on that, but we fundraise every month.
Okay, so events, okay.
All right.
And fundraising every month is a good thing.
We do, I've found that connecting the party to resources to help in campaigns. Trump Force 47 was located in Jackson. We hooked right to them and used those resources to knock doors for Trump to elect Republicans throughout Jackson County.
Okay.
County commission, township offices, this and that. So we're successful with that. We don't have the money to just write checks to this campaign or that campaign, not significantly enough to matter in that campaign.
Right.
So if we can connect to bigger campaigns to help do that and distribute our voter guide. So I think we've been successful even with redistricting at getting Republicans elected. So
yeah, Karen Burkowski agrees with you. She says Trump Force 47 changed everything. I agree. They were a big.
I learned a lot off that campaign.
I think we all did.
Yeah. There's a guy from Kalamazoo or St. Joe area. He's a former Kalamazoo chair, St. Joe chair, Scott McGraw. He was the point person for Trump Force 47. Normally they're young guys. He's older than me.
Oh wow. Okay.
I learned so much from him. Just so much on campaigns and how to go at it, and that resource with Trump Force there, it was just a great resource. It really was. I even got elected. You know, they'd say, "Hey, Russ, put this walk list together for Trump." Well, let me tell you, they were knocking doors in Leone Township, distributing but we helped all the candidates that way.
Karen says he was the first one to reach out to her. So awesome.
Who, Scott McGraw was?
Apparently.
Oh, I like Scott.
Yeah.
We used to butt heads, but at the end of the day, man, I learned so much from that guy.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So what else do you do well? What else? You said, I know that you've got a couple of podcasts going, so you guys got your names out there. And
so with the space that we have, we were able to open a professional podcast studio. Now, the help of my son, he is and was a podcaster prior to that. His own podcast. And I one day went to him, this has been a couple years, and I was like, hey, you want to do a political podcast with your dad? And we did it out of our old office, 30 by 30. He'd move his equipment in every week. We'd set it up. But we put that podcast studio together. He runs a business out of it and pays rent. And then in return, we do political podcasts from that. So we connect well. We out of the Trump Force 47, we picked up, 7, 8 people. And now they're on our executive committee. One of them is now our chief of staff. He is great at website design, social media, because I think what we were lacking for a long, long time is communication.
Yep.
And so we've tried really, really hard to open the lines of communication. If you want to know what we're doing, it's easy to find. If you say I didn't know, it's because you weren't even trying to look. We're on every social media platform.
Oh, I know. I had to look for. I was looking up some stuff on your podcast, on your website, and I found it very easy to navigate. I was going to tell you that.
This podcast is listed on our website.
I know.
So
that was the first time I ever talked to you. You called me and said, "Can I put it? Do you mind if we put your podcast on our?"
I thought I should ask.
Don't throw me in the briar patch.
But I think there's 8 of them.
There's several of them.
Political podcasts from around the state.
Sure.
A few of them are ones we produce or my son Kevin produces. And then the others are just this podcast. And Grassroots Army, things like that. Sure. Rescue Michigan. You can just go to our website, jxngop.org, and stroll down. And the reason why we thought that'd be, instead of remembering Right Side Podcasts, and you live in Jackson, you just know to go to our website. You can find it.
Terrific.
And plus, it drives people to our website to look at other things.
Yep. Right. So we will.
So I hope maybe another thing is I hope we market well.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it then? What do you guys need to work on? What is something in your? I know you and I have had a conversation. I've had it with the other chairs, and I'm sort of, as I'm interviewing other chairs, I'm getting this kind of idea going because I really want our county chairs to be able to help one another. What is it you need help with? If there was another chair out there watching now or on a rerun, what would you say Jackson County could use some help, mentoring, instruction, critique?
How to use our data.
Okay, yeah, that's where we are too.
So we sit on tons of data. 5,000 Trump signs went out of our office, and we collect data on every single Trump sign, on top of years of collecting data.
Okay.
So what good is the data when we don't know how to utilize the data appropriately? Yes, we have them in groups. We have a text messaging service, all those platforms that we can communicate with. But all we're doing is saying, hey, we have an event on this day, or hey, I don't think we use the data correctly or know how to. And if there's counties out there, which I do know there are, that use that data better, that's where I would like
us
it.
too. And I'll tell you what, if there's somebody out there watching, or of your county that does data very, very well and knows how to use it and utilizes it to help your candidates, your party, your fundraising, whatever it is, reach out. And I know Russ and I would love to sit in on a workshop.
I think it's interesting.
And we'll trade our expertise on other things.
I think it's interesting that we both have an issue in our mind is how to use our data.
Yes.
And that one sticks right out in front. And I know Livingston has resources, Jackson has resources, and I think that's where we're leading into this conversation. Is there's some counties out there that don't have a website.
That's right.
There's some that don't even have a Facebook page, and which. I'm like, who doesn't have a Facebook page?
I know that I can understand the website, but the Facebook page?
Yeah. And so I would like to look at the resources we can provide.
Sure.
If a county out there, those small counties up north, reached out and said, hey, can you help us make a website? Our guy, Chris, he'll be all over it. We would be all over it. We'd like to offer that. And I give it to Chris because Russ doesn't create websites,
right.
But he's already committed to that. Or even there's counties out there that don't even know how to put a flyer together.
Right.
I mean,
right.
we could do that. Whatever resources we do have, I think it'd be nice if we could share them, and then vice versa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and Livingston County, we need to learn to do data better. One thing we do well is we have great candidate trainings. They will knock the socks off.
I could use that.
Yeah. The other one we have is I do a strategic planning every year.
How'd that go for you?
Oh,
well,
it is phenomenal. It just sets the direction. There's no tugging, there's no pulling. Everybody got their input in. Everybody said what went well, what needed to be better, what we should work on, how we should work on it. I take all that, I accumulate it into a report, and that's our plan for the year. So,
we are highly considering one. We're at the end of January, hard to believe. But
it's not too late.
An important person in the party, her and I talked about that,
Mm-hmm.
and we almost come up to your strategic plan to check it out.
Okay.
But we had our forum that day.
Okay, that's right.
You're right.
Yeah, my
and
phone was blowing up while
I was like, that probably wouldn't mind if we came out and
Not
checked
at
it
all.
up.
I would not have minded.
So
you just
we're
got
to pull the trigger.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
So we got Karen says, Karen, can we use AI in some way? I've thought about that, Karen, and I think if there's a GOP out there, a county party that does use AI, I don't know. I mean, I guess I never consider myself a dinosaur. I consider myself, because I know how to use the internet. I know how to use things, but I don't know AI. At some point you become a dinosaur because you do not know how to do
AI
the next thing.
Like Google, so it's easy for me to jump on Gemini or Gork and ask it a question, and it gives me the information that I like, which is better than
not using
Google. But that's
AI.
not using AI. Beyond that, I'm like, okay,
all right. So we have, let's see, Anthony says Kent County does a great job. They do. I actually had Rusty Richter from Kent County on last week. We talked about some of this stuff. Grab some U of M students. Well,
I was on a little podcast they do up in Kent County here a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Drove up there.
Yeah, with Rusty and Chris.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, did. I know he's. Yeah.
Audio.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Things like that.
That's right.
It was fun.
Yeah, I know. I listened to it. It was great. I enjoyed it. So yeah, let's help them out with data. No, we got to help us out with data. Let them help out with
data. So I
bet
bet you there's a possibility, like you take Kent County or Oakland County, who has executive directors and a staff. I would assume they probably use their data better because they've got people they've hired that are. I don't know. I don't know. Kelly Sackett and I. Mm-hmm. There was a RNC training right before Mackinac, and Rob Steele called me and said he really wanted me to go to this training, and there was two, and it was put on by RNC, but it was they wanted me there because Tom Barrett is in my district, and they wanted and one of the breakout sessions, or one of the things they talk about, was using data, and I've got this clip on that. I need to go pull that out. Yeah.
I need to pull that out.
You spent your day there for a reason.
I did, right? But what happened was that morning I got up in the hotel, and I'm at breakfast getting ready for the day's training, and suddenly I get a text from JD Vance's team. He's going to be the next day. Was it the next day or the 2 days? Whatever it was, 2 days from then, he was going to be in my county, and could I get rid of 100 seats? I'm like, before noon. Hello.
Watch me.
And so, I put it out. My phone was blowing up for the training. I had to leave because I could not. I had to go deal with that. So when the vice president comes to your town, you put everything else off. So let's see. Mark is in his late 30s. He's not sure if you know how to use AI. Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm not such a dinosaur then. I think Heather Smiley could help with data crunching. And who is that? Help me out, Karen.
That name some reason.
Yeah, I do too. Help us out, Karen. Who that is. Yes. But it's not necessarily data crunching. We have data crunchers. It's how do you use that? What's the path from getting the data and then applying it to something you're doing? So, whether it's low propensity voters or whatever. But like I said, I've just remembered. I've got that.
I can't hardly even put my finger on it. So if you have all this data, like I said, we have texting platforms. Fortunate that we have a member who owns a texting business, so our texting is free,
Right.
Or not free, but super cheap. And so that's where it starts, from the social media,
Sure.
all that. But we're only connecting to maybe 10% or 5%
Yes,
of all
yes,
that data that we
yes.
have. So you told them that we're having an event, or hey, this candidate is good. I don't know. We
Sure.
struggle with how to use it, how to do it properly.
Yes. Well, what do you think about county chairs working together? No, we've talked about this. What's a good venue to do that? To kind of sit down and have that brainstorming, because everybody is so focused on here's what I'm worried about. Okay, I brought this up to everybody I can think of about county chairs getting together and doing some trading. I'll come there for that. You come here for this. Let's work together. But let's start a brainstorming session. Who can do what well? And everybody is so consumed with
Elections.
not just the elections. It's the conventions
Yeah.
and all the work. I mean, we both know what the work that has to go into that. But everybody's consumed with that stuff, and so it feels like that's getting
How do you
put on
squeeze it in?
everybody's back burner. But that, I feel like that if we can get that done, everything else we do will be made simpler, because maybe if I knew more about data, I wouldn't have to work so hard to get X done. It might be that we could have something more streamlined, or you wouldn't have to work so hard to find candidates if we could have a big round table and walk them through what they need to do.
It might be too late, Deb. So
maybe
not too late. It's never too late. But my first thought was, so prior to every state committee meeting, they have these breakout sessions, and there's the chair of chairs meeting, and it's usually the hour before the state committee meeting, and it's nice to get with other county chairs that I might not know. That's just what brought this up. I was talking to a county chair, and I forget what county, and she goes, I don't have a vice chair, treasurer, or anything. She don't even have an executive committee. She doesn't have a website. And I'm like, well,
10 of us need to go up there and help
right.
her.
So my first thought when you asked that was, well, maybe we need to get together 2 hours before the state committee meeting for that powwow. But the next one's in Houghton Lake, end of February.
If this was on the agenda, I'd go. I normally don't.
But maybe that's a start instead of that hour, 2 hours before or hour and a half before, and really say, hey guys, what can we do to at least start the conversation more than we're already starting the conversation.
No, I would
you
like
and
to,
I,
yeah.
Kelly,
and I talked
Vance,
to Rusty,
Todd Gilman down in Monroe. We've already started this, but we haven't connected the dots yet.
Right.
And that's what needs to happen.
And I think that's what we need to do. And I know everybody's really busy, and if I find enough, I guess I don't want to step on toes by running with it, so I'm just putting it out there. But if it needs to get done, and those in MRP that like Kelly or anybody that's interested in doing this, if they don't find the time or whatever, they don't have the time and they want somebody to run with it, I'll do it. If not, then I'll just come. If somebody else is going to run with it, then come. But I feel it's needed, and I feel like we could really use some help. But then I'm willing to help others.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Another county chair, when I brought this up to them, was like, "Man, that sounds great, Russ." But then he hit me and he says, "Shouldn't this be something that Michigan GOP should have been doing all along?
Well, I'm not going there. Yeah.
Connecting the counties to some degree."
I don't
You're right,
know.
but
I
if
think,
they're not going to, so let's do that.
Right. Well, and in their defense right now, and I'm not saying what happened
They're busy
before.
too.
Well, it's not just that they're busy. If you look back, there was the big, the year of the year of the big fights. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. The fact that the fights happened. Then there became, right from there came a big financial hole and a year to get Trump elected. Okay, wham! Everybody went. I mean, nobody had time for this stuff. So then, after that comes Runstead's first year, and it turns out that there is a big hole still financial, and he's been running like crazy trying to fill that up ever since. So I don't know what And then Bernadette left, and so now they got somebody. Sonny's in there now, so they've had some turnover, and now my hope was Kelly now being chair of chairs. We got a chair of chairs now, and But then again, I don't know what her duties are.
We
I
did
don't
go
know.
a year without a chair of
I
chairs.
know, and if we'd had that a year ago, maybe this could have been taken care of. But I think now she's got to hit the ground running. I don't know if she has time. If she does, I'd love her to. I did call her and talk to her about it. Not sure if she has time. But again, whether she like Karen, even if you pair 2 counties together, that would help. Even if we did it on our own, put it out there. Call me if you need this. Call me if you need this. Call me if you need this.
I don't even know how to reach out to those smaller counties up north. I guess you start with the district chairs, whether there's 30 of them in this district and on and on, and say, hey, where are your low resource counties?
Right.
And can you find out what they need? Maybe we can help. You can help. I can help. Somebody like that.
Yeah, but we all need to. I feel like we need to have a master list of, these are the counties that do these things. Jackson does this, Livingston does this, Oakland does this, and then these are what Jackson, what we need. And then so people see that. Every one of us chairs get that, and I say, okay, I need this. Oh, look who does that.
Yeah.
I will call them. So
yeah.
Here we go, Mark. Do you know the chair of Wayne County Republican Committee? His name is Jim McFerrin. I am the first vice chair of that committee. I think you're also aren't you 2 the only ones?
In there 3 Wayne County
Republican No, I think there's 3 Wayne County Republicans.
But I think there is 3. They're broke up into 3.
I think then they have 1 person each. I tease Mark all the time.
Yeah.
Wayne County is not known for. It's sort of like Ann Arbor. Both members out there, So anyway, so yeah, I'm looking for these collaboration ideas. I think
it's a great idea.
I feel like I feel like it's a resource that's not being tapped, and some of us really, really have strong. I'd love Rusty to come along and say, "Here's how I raised $1,100 overnight." Tell us, Rusty.
Yeah, teach me that one,
Rusty. Teach me, Rusty. We'll listen. I promise. So these are the things that we need to know, and Vance has got. I did reach out to Vance. I know Vance has got. He's got a swag business that is like killing it. He sent me. I'm so excited. He sent me a supplier today. So thank you publicly. Thank you, Vance Patrick from Oakland, for sending that to me.
There are a couple of counties like that. Of course, Oakland has it's a storefront because they're on Woodward.
Right.
We're highly considering buying merchandise in Jackson, but we have a beautiful office, but to stop, walk in, take the elevator, 3rd floor, it's difficult.
Right.
But you could do like Berrien made a lot of money during 2024. They just took it to every darn event they could and sell the heck out of merchandise. But Vance they got a good looking store too.
Yeah.
It's like real, like a Trump store.
Right. Karen says she's sorry. She sounds like MIGOP responsibility. That should, and maybe they should, there should and there is. I'm not finding fault with MIGOP. Like I said, they have got a hole that they have walked into, and they've got a big financial situation going on there. So they need to fix that stuff before they can do things like this. Now, like I said,
but Deb, prior to that whole previous administrations, they still weren't connecting the dots.
No, but like I said, that was back then.
But
yeah,
let's connect the dots.
And I'm talking about now. So if whether somebody should or shouldn't be doing it, I don't know if they can do it. Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
idea.
let's just get it done, and then if we set up something that's an easy template to follow, then they can continue.
You can almost maybe start in your own district too. At times, I look at the district that we're in, and most are 3 or 4 are active county parties, and the rest really not. I think of Branch County. Hey, Branch County, what can we do to help you at all?
That's right.
If there's anything you need, maybe you're quiet for a reason. That's your business.
That's right.
But I have a lot of times think that it's maybe they can't connect it.
Well, like I said too, if you don't know, if I need data, I don't know anybody that does data well. So am I going to call every single one up and say, hey, do you guys do data? Can you help us? Or like I said, I can help maybe facilitate. I think if I created a questionnaire and sent it to Kelly and said, Kelly, please send this to every chair in the state, and then compile it and get it back to me.
What do you need?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you need? And what do you need and what do you do well? So.
And some of those smaller counties with less resources might have something that they do well, where we're like, hey, that I could use that. I mean, it could be a two-way street.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we can do lots of stuff like that.
Like
So
pancake breakfasts. No, I'm just.
yeah. We do. We're gonna. It's funny too because we just had our budget meeting here a week or so ago. I have my budget committee here, my finance committee, and we all went through the budget for the year. We went through the last 2 years' budgets and kind of used those numbers and pitched out what we're not going to have to spend, added what we will. And one of the things that of course we did it after the strategic planning, which is where all the ideas come up. This is what we want to focus on this year. And so one of the things that was brought up by more than one and heartily approved was, starting a swag situation.
I think we're going to.
I think so. When I went to the budget committee, I asked my finance team if they would give us a swag allowance, just kind of kick it off, start going where we could, go buy some inventory, then start selling it. And I think that not only is it good for bringing in money, but it is also good for, advertising, because every time somebody walks around with Livingston County GOP.
So we do have a online store.
Yeah, we probably would do that.
But here it is, and cool stuff. Jackson GOP hats, shirts, all kinds, and koozies and all that. The problem is to make any money on the online store, the prices are too high.
That's right.
That hat is $35 when it should be $20.
I know.
Where if we go through a vendor, you can get that cheaper, and you got it on hand.
Right.
Plus, people impulse buy. So every community in the summertime, we all have events everywhere.
Yep.
We do.
Yep.
I don't know how many.
We do tons.
A dozen. Every event have that swag there.
Yep.
It is the thought, even if it's a minimal amount, not minimal, but. Cool hats, cool shirts. People like
hats,
koozies,
shirts,
right?
Yeah, hats, shirts, lanyards.
Yeah.
Things that people use, keychains, whatever it is, that we could have those things, and visors.
Coffee cups. I drink out of a Jackson GOP coffee cup every morning.
Yeah, or the Yeti style.
That's my
I know.
thing.
But things like that, insulated cups and things. Those are all things that could can do it. So Mark,
I don't think it takes much of a budget, too much of a budget to
not to kick you off.
And then grow it with your profits, maybe.
Right, that's what we're gonna do. So Mark Ashley Price says you are correct. There are 3 district parties. Then he says that some individuals have said that the state GOP does not recognize the Wayne County Republican Committee. I don't know why either. I don't know if that's true.
I think all 3 are represented at the chair of chairs meeting prior to the state committee meetings. I think only one of them shows up. I forget her name. She's been a chair of one of those for a long, long time.
I'm sure he knows her.
Right.
So Karen says networking is important. The progressives have it easy. They use public resources like unions and have free PR using mainstream media. I know, but you guys got us, and we're better. So, so we're gonna do that. But I think that's good advertising, especially in a county like Livingston. If that people, we make a point. Our people make a point. We're in a restaurant. We do a different restaurant every month.
I like
We have a fourth. You ought to come join us.
I like that.
We have a fourth Thursday dinner somewhere in the county. We did a kind of a sushi sports bar. Interesting combination, but it was good food. Sushi sports bar. We're gonna do. I think. I don't know. We do Mexican every so often, and so we'd love to have you join us. And then we do a breakfast on the second Tuesday of the month. So it kind of
and that's at a different restaurant.
Different restaurant.
Yeah.
It's a breakfast restaurant. Little, one of the little mom and pop places or whatever. We don't usually go to chains, but
we do one at the last Saturday of the month. But it's our 300 club that meets. But it's the people who have contributed $300 more.
Sure.
But we include anybody that wants to show up. We're not going to say, hey, you can't have breakfast with us. That's this Saturday.
You're $75 short.
Yeah,
You're a 2 1/4 club down the street.
Yeah, you ain't got enough money to be here. But it's just at a restaurant in downtown Jackson. We eat breakfast, and I like it. I like it a lot.
That to me is like, and that's those fourth Thursdays. That was something I brought out last year in the strategic planning. Right after I became chair, I had my priorities. That was one of my priorities. I wanted to build membership, and I wanted to do that. And that is, it took off a little slow, but it's really picking up. We probably had 25 at our last one.
Oh, that's
great. at least 5 of them were new people.
Even better,
Yeah,
right?
so
That's
it
awesome,
was
awesome.
great. So I met 2 or 3 people that, I'd known a couple of them, but they were just kind of new to the party and checking things out and getting to know. And to me, that's exactly what that's for.
Our Turning Point group, we launched a Turning Point group after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And it's not huge, but it's there.
Right.
They're having a Super Bowl party.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
And I think they're going to, Turning Point's going to help fund it, so it's free to come. I was talking to my chief of staff. I was like, when we have these outreach type events, and they're always come up. We're not necessarily charging to come. It'd be great if we can make some money. That's where you would make the money. You have the merch, so you have an outreach event, and you might make a couple bucks on your merch. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's, and we do fairs and we do festivals and, we do membership drives and things. So we've already got a tent for membership, right? We've already got a tent. We've already got people walking by, signing up. Why not sell them a hat and a shirt? You can buy a membership there. And oh, by the way, maybe even we buy, you get a free hat or you get a free keychain or whatever if you sign up for your membership today.
Let me tell you, sign up for a membership.
Stuff.
I'll give you something free.
Yeah. Well, we usually give tickets to our events, but depends on how high. But anyway, I know I had one guy, I kind of went to talk to him. He had left the party because of some drama. And, when I came back and I started talking to some of these people who had left, and I talked to him and he said, well, I didn't like the drama and I didn't want to support it. I said, well, I understand that. Would you please just keep your eyes open, on us now? We're eliminating the drama. We're, starting the podcast, blah, blah, blah. And he called me about a month later and said he said he was, happy with the direction it was going.
Oh, good.
And then he immediately said, I signed up at the highest rate there was. And I went,
very
awesome,
nice.
That's great. And I went right to my EC and said, we got to up our rates. So I put 2 higher levels. Somebody else calls me. We're gonna work.
It just reminds me of a quick story. We rented space to the Mike Rogers for Senate campaign.
Okay, yeah.
We have the room to do that. And I was negotiating the price, what I thought the price should be.
Mm-hmm.
And when we mentioned the price, they go, oh, is that it? And I went, I left money on the table.
Yeah, never.
And as a sales guy, when you left money on the table.
Well,
I could have got them for $300 more.
Well, negotiating 101. Never be
I'm
the first.
happy
Never
with
be
what
the
we
first.
did.
Never be the first one to throw the number out.
I'm happy, but I'm like, me and my chief
I
of
know.
staff, we looked at one another, left money on the table.
You negotiated against yourself. I wish we could get help from our Genesee County Republican Party. Well, Jennifer, I appreciate that comment. You've left us totally in the dark, so we're happy to talk about it. If you got to throw a little more detail on
Are
there.
you just a voter in
Are
Genesee?
you a delegate?
Where's the problem?
What's the issue here?
Yeah.
So, are you a candidate?
Right.
See, you left a lot of questions. You're begging some questions there. So, do a little typing and
in
pop back
Genesee's,
up.
they pop up. I don't know them well, but they're an active county.
Yep,
They're not an inactive county, so that does bring up a lot of questions.
Perhaps the Washtenaw County. Yep, we have asked Jay. We have asked.
Want to talk about Washtenaw?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
not meanly, but
now Brian. Now
we
don't ever talk negative about Republicans on here, but
no.
but I know there was a, in a nutshell. You can correct me if I get it wrong. There was a team at Washtenaw County Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of split. The old guard started something else. A Washtenaw County.
Right.
Washtenaw Republican Support Group or Conservatives or something. Mm-hmm. Then there's new people in the Washtenaw County Republicans. I know this. The Washtenaw Conservative people came to Brian Ignatowski's fundraiser we had, the ice cream social that you still need to have.
Nice.
The ice cream social that we had here. And so I did not see the Washtenaw County people. I've never talked to them. I've only talked to the old people last year. So I do not know
I have
them.
a relationship with the old guard.
Okay.
And then District 47 with Justin Griffiths, right?
Okay.
He reached out to the Jackson GOP. We went all in. Oh, yeah, we'll help. So then he had already reached out to the Jackson or the Washtenaw GOP and said, well, I didn't get much traction. So I called the new chair, and I didn't know him at the time. Yeah, And then I reached out to the old guard, Washtenaw Conservatives. blew me off. But now we're months in. I can't get the enthusiasm out of either group for a candidate running in their county.
Worse, it's a Republican candidate.
Yes,
in their
and a
county.
good one at that.
I know, that one that's got a chance of winning.
And maybe they'll come in later. And I'm like, I need something now, and I'm not getting it. And some of it, it's a negative Dem 9 seat. No, it's -2, and Kathy Schmaltz wins a -2 every 2 years. It's a winnable seat. So I don't know what to do to get that enthusiasm, or why it doesn't exist as much as I'd like to see it exist.
I think I heard that there is a great deal of interest that I guess they have a Republican candidate on maybe the south side of
Laura Perry.
Yes, and they're putting time and energy.
And Laura
into her,
Perry, boy,
and they feel like they can win her. And maybe they don't. Maybe they just don't know enough
I
about
have
our
never
candidates.
seen so much enthusiasm for a candidate for state house as I've seen for Laura Perry.
From them or general.
In general,
Okay.
unbelievable. I went to her launch party, and I've been to several of them. It was the largest one I'd ever seen. But she's dynamite. She's dynamite, which is great. I seen a member of the Washtenaw GOP at our forum, and got talking to him. I'm like, how's come I can't get a little help from you guys? They kind of admitted that they're kind of issues oriented, not candidate oriented. And I'm like,
The purpose of the county party is to get Republican candidates elected and keep them elected. How could you be issue oriented?
I think a lot of them are issue oriented.
But then go join your. If you're pro life, go join Right to Life. Get out of the party.
And I are on the same track there.
This is not. It's like, I mean, I am a 2A supporter. I'm pro life, right? But
it's our job to find the candidates
and then but if you're 2A and that's all you care about, then go join 2A. Get off the party and get
find the candidate that supports 2A. Find the candidate that supports life.
Right.
Find
get them in there.
Election integrity.
Right.
And then elect them. That is our job to find those candidates.
To find the candidate. Well, actually.
Those candidates.
To find Republicans and elect them. Period.
Yeah.
And that's it. And so issue oriented. Are you kidding me? Stop it.
I think
go
after
join the issue.
2020, everybody was so discouraged over the election results. I know in Jackson we had a huge influx in precinct delegates, but all of them were, what are you going to do about election integrity? And I'm like, I'm as concerned as you are, but we're not geared anywhere for this. Luckily, organizations started popping up, election integrity, and they flocked to that because they knew there's something there. But at first, they're like, what are we going to do? And they say, well, the GOP will help.
Well, that's like going to Habitat for Humanity and saying, what are you going to do about a shortage of blood? Well, nothing. We're going to refer you over to the Red Cross. We're going to build a house.
Some people got mad at me or discouraged that I looked at it that way, but I'm like, we are here to elect Republicans.
That's what we exist for. I mean, that's like saying, there's a whole. It's like asking us, what are you going to do about all the kids in Wayne County that can't read? Well, the best we can do is elect Republicans who will then reform the educational, whatever.
Right.
So
now every GOP has membership that I have Marcy Jankovic. She is the director.
I'm looking forward to meeting her, Marcy. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
The director of Women's for Gun Rights. But that's where she puts her energy in for that. And she's at the GOP. She knows we're here to elect Republicans.
That's right.
And
then when she wants her issue, she goes to that.
No, I've been to Lansing with her on Women's for Gun Rights issues. I've been up there and helped her with things. I have no problem with that. But she has a good balance.
She doesn't mistake the GOP's purpose for her passion over here, right? And Marcy, I see your stuff. I see your stuff written, and I agree with everything. So
I will introduce you to Marcy as soon as I can.
I will look forward to that. Maybe at the convention we can say hello. But
she's a good one to know.
Yes. Well, I mean, I can tell by just some of the stuff she writes. I look forward to meeting you, Marcy. But so it's like I said, I have my passions, you have yours, but it's like I said, it's like going to Habitat for Humanity and asking, what are you going to do about the blood shortage? Well, if you want to know that, go down to the Red Cross. What Habitat's
I
going to
can
build a house.
point you in the right direction. Right down the road is Right to Life from a Jackson GOP
right.
office, and I can put you in the right direction
That's
here.
right.
But our goal here is to, our bylaws say, recruit, train, and elect Republicans.
Yep.
First paragraph.
Yep.
First paragraph.
That's what our mission statement is. Yep.
Yep.
So it is. It's important that if you're thinking about, because they'll be come December, we'll be electing again. And so if you're thinking about getting on the executive committee, or you want to be part of it, understand that we're not there to focus on one issue. We are there to get Republicans elected. Now, the Republicans we elect may focus on the issue that you're talking about. So if you are really, if election integrity, if you eat, sleep, and breathe that, then you really want to focus on the Secretary of State race and stay there. But coming to us and yelling at the party of what are we going to do? What we're going to do is elect candidates that will take care of that. So
it's prior to that, though, Deb. It's we'll be electing precinct delegates in August.
Sure.
And precinct delegates, the same thing. You could be a precinct delegate and not really work hand in hand with the GOP.
Sure.
But most do to some degree. But that's why the GOP exists.
Right.
It's just to be clear. They all have their issues. I understand. I have mine.
Everybody does.
That you go there to help fight those issues, right?
Yep, that's exactly right. So Karen says she melted the ice cream social here. Pretty remarkable. Roman Gasky, yes, District 54. He's over in Oakland County. I met with him too. I talked for a great deal of time. He wants to come out to one of our candidate trainings. I told him he's absolutely welcome. He's very intelligent. He needs. I think he'd do well. I think he needs to learn some things his first time. So like any other, first timer, there's some things he needs to learn. So I think he'll I think
it takes a while to be as smart as you and I do.
I know, but I'll tell you what, it won't take him long. You catch up pretty good. He's very, very articulate.
Someone needs a clunker has it together.
I know. It was up to us. We'd have the world fixed. All right. Well, I don't have anything more to talk about on this particular subject. So if you have anything else you want to bring up?
Check us out, jxngop.org. If there's other counties out there, or you're aware of other counties, get a hold of me and Deb. You can get a hold of me through our website. If there's a resource we have, I'd be happy to share it. Just don't ask for a check. But I'd be happy to share it.
Only I get his check. So. All right. Well, we are going to go to a commercial, and we're gonna come back, and it's going to be chat with the chair. And if you have anything you think we should be thinking about, or
this is it for me.
This is, unless you have something else you want to talk about.
Thank you for having me on, Deb. It was worth the trip here. You were on my show.
I was.
And I said, "Yep, let's do it. Let's do it." And it took us a couple weeks to put together, but here I am. And I do want to remind everybody, we do launch another podcast tomorrow. It's called the Under the Oaks Podcast. If you don't know what Under the Oaks is, that's where the Republican Party was born, Under the Oaks in downtown Jackson.
There you go.
And it is an exclusive Jackson GOP podcast. And
well, then why are you advertising it on here? You just told people they can't watch it.
What's that?
Is it exclusive that you can
no,
watch it?
It's just the content. So I always say that the podcast that I do every Monday, Stick to the Plan, is a Russ and Kevin podcast.
Right.
I throw my opinion out there about Ask My Tax or whatever it is.
Right.
I make candidates for governor mad at me. You never know what I say. Where this new podcast is just the balance of the Jackson GOP. Candidates, local elected officials.
Awesome. All right. Okay, all right. Well, we're going to go to commercial here, and then we'll come back with Chet. Thank you so much, friend, for coming out here. It's I tell you, it's different. I went to his, and I'm watching, and but he's got the TV, and of course the screen there with all the things, and I'm walking all these comments, and I got to tell you, your people are mean. Oh my God! I thought about you coming. I thought, I hope to God
I can't read the comments without my glasses.
I can. They were mean.
Kevin does. You guys get a lot of comments.
We get a lot of
comments.
We address.
And I think it's an evening thing. we do 2 in the afternoon.
Well,
but no,
2 in the afternoons when all the
good.
Jackson Grumps come out. My God, they're mean.
They are.
But they're, you know, and I'm waiting for him. I said, finally, I looked in the middle of the discussion. I said, you going to answer any of these things? He goes, nope.
I can't read them.
We don't
I can
deal
read
with
yours, though, pretty well.
Yeah, but he said, we don't deal with them. I
like
said,
that
well, yeah, so it's terrific. But yeah, I mean, I think unless you're being a jerk over here, I will completely ignore you then. But I try to. Jennifer, back. I've seen you both a few times. You guys are great. Well, thank you. Jennifer, you still haven't told me. Who are you? Tell us where we should know you from or what you are. I wanna know this. So anyway, so but yeah, so I mean I'm looking at these and I'm looking, and he's no, we don't answer. It was like, well, I'm gonna answer one. What are you talking about?
Most of our viewership, I think yours is too, though, is after I take it and show it through the week through on our Facebook page, and that's a dozen-year-old Facebook page. It's got a lot of on it. So that's where most of our views come from, and then we've just started cutting clips, and so between Monday to Monday, I'll clip 5, 6, 7 clips from that show, and then Kevin puts what do you call them? Words on it, captions.
Captions, yep.
And you know, honestly, people's short attention spans, they love the clips, but hopefully it leads them to the show to watch the whole show.
Okay.
So
yeah, like I said, I was just shocked, and I'm thinking, I mean, it was like. Nasty thing. I was like, all right, I'm talking to you.
I don't remember who was chiming in that day.
Oh my God, there was a bunch of them.
We have the usual suspects, though.
A bunch of them is like, no, what do you guys know? It was like, did you like put it out to every Democrat on the county or what? But I mean, they got
a couple of them.
They were just being jerks. I thought, ooh. So I took one on and finally just said enough. Anyway, but yeah, we have, I don't mind differences of opinion, but if you're going to insult me, you know, we have the old right click delete.
Yeah.
And then right click block, right there. So that's the end of that. So I've seen, I've had a couple of people that have come on this show and just been nasty. And then all of a sudden the same nasty comments, 2 weeks later by somebody else, they've just created a different profile.
Well, some people, if that's where they want to vent, we get it a lot on our Facebook page. Just recently, I used to delete them because I use our Facebook page to promote things.
Yeah.
And I used to say, get out of here. You know what? Lately, for fun, I've just been engaging with them.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'll do that.
If it's a provable point.
Yeah,
but if it's just an insult, I generally just block them. That's it. I don't have time for it. But
I've been feeling cocky. Yeah.
Well, like I said, if they say something about something, I can say no. As a matter of fact, this, and this, I will do that. I will correct a provable point.
I'd rather fight with them than Republicans.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of that.
I know. So, all right, guys, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to put a couple commercials on here, and then we're going to do chat with the chair. So that's when you get to throw your ideas out. We're going to brainstorm a little bit, and so we'll be right back. Thanks again, Russ. Let's see. What are we doing here? Let's go back to this.
Why should you join the Livingston County Republican Party?
Why, you ask?
Yeah, why?
Why join?
The Republican Party is the party of common sense.
Common sense.
Republicans support the Constitution.
Republicans protect your rights.
We fight to keep your children safe.
We fight to keep boys and men out of girls and women's sports.
We fight to keep boys out of girls' restrooms.
We fight for you.
What does the Republican Party do?
We help Republican candidates get elected.
Why is it important to elect Republicans?
Why is that important?
Why?
Tell me, why is that important?
Livingston County is one of the safest counties in Michigan.
Livingston County has one of the lowest crime rates in the state of Michigan.
Livingston County has the lowest tax millage rate of all 83 counties.
Republicans work to balance the budget.
Republican legislators vote against raising your taxes.
Republican elected officials believe in transparency.
Republican clerks run elections with integrity.
Republican trustees protect your rights.
Republicans support our veterans.
Who can join?
If you are conservative, we want you in our party.
All conservatives are welcome at our table.
Join our activities.
Join the fun.
Become a member.
Join us now.
Hi, I'm Deb Drick, Chair of the Livingston County Republican Party. Our conservative message has been very well received in Livingston County, and I'm so happy to share with you that people are stepping up right and left to help. The only thing's missing is you. Come join our mission. Come join our fun. Go to livingstonrepublicans.com and click join. You'll be glad you did.
Someone once said, where your treasure goes, there also will be your heart. What kind of world do you want to invest in? Do your investments fund industries that tempt people to harm relationships? What if you could be more intentional with your money? What if your investments built content that enriched others' minds? Jason Huntley, CFP, has been guiding families for 30 plus years to plan, invest, and build for the next generation. Scan the QR code now to make that first step to investing intentional. John Adams warned that the Constitution is wholly inadequate without a moral and religious people. As conservatives, we must reclaim the faith that shaped it, rooted in Jesus Christ and the Bible. To help you understand the historic Christianity that our country was founded on, check out theexaltedchrist.com, a resource website proclaiming Christ as King.
Uh-oh, stay there. Welcome to the right side. And with me now is the brand new 7th District Chair, District 3, Livingston County Commissioner, Frank Sample. So welcome, Frank. You're very active in the American Legion.
Correct.
You're very active in the VFW.
This ideology is very damaging to the students who are told if you get this surgery and make do the social transition, the medical transition, then you'll be happy and all your problems will be solved. Learned so much.
I'll bet. That's some institutional knowledge right there.
And we have, as a special guest, as I said earlier, we have Kevin Rinke with us. Welcome, Kevin. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Go Bode. Thanks, Kelly. There are those everywhere. We have, but we love meeting new people.
Right, yes.
It's in good shape, so that's good news.
That safeness is not afforded to every citizen. They are special.
There's a difference between men and women. There's a biological difference, and it's time for us to stand for our girls.
He went through, and he came back with a report said there's no way Detroit can meet its obligations on the tax base.
Yes.
So is this DEI focused just on the high school, or are they talking about all
district, the entire district?
Maybe that's kind of normal. It's really not. There tends to be little fiefdoms with different police agencies and police versus fire and fire versus EMS and blah blah blah. That's not the case here. So Livingston County is very fortunate.
Hey, not too long ago, in many of our lifetimes, Detroit was the 3rd largest city in America.
Oh yeah,
3.2 million citizens. It's been a great experience. I mean, I have no regrets about moving here.
There's an old saying that the road will get you elected, the jail will get you unelected. So, give you an idea.
You have to have a reason to change for change to be enacted. And I am back. And whoops, get that offside. And I am back. All right, so this is the part where we have a chat with a chair. Sometimes we get into deep chat. Sometimes we get into light chat. So I'll start to babble about what's coming and what I see and what we're doing. And then, you chime in as you want to. Jennifer, I'm still looking to find who you are. So let me know. Let's see what's coming. We have our February 7th meeting. I was, just as a general alert, I'm going to try and have that at RE/MAX, but I've been told by RE/MAX that we don't have that facility anymore, and I'll tell you why. In order to be at RE/MAX, you have to have an agent willing to kind of be there every month and make sure, because they just don't let you come in. You have to have an agent there, and a RE/MAX agent. And we used to have Janine Deaton, but then when she left the executive committee to take care of her mom and other stuff she was doing, she said she couldn't do it anymore. So we found another lady who said she would kind of help out for a while. And then I had like 3, but it's too hard for them in the winter. So she just kind of said she can't find anybody. So I'm going to try and get somebody. I'm going to try and have the February one, but it may very well be that we end up back here. Unless you are a RE/MAX agent and you are willing to one Thursday a month be there to hold that door for us, we would be extremely grateful. But as far as that goes, so we are at least starting in March, maybe even February, if she can't hold the door for us, we're going to probably start meeting here at the Victory Center. We'll do the best we can. It will not be the huge spacious thing, but I think we can make do. I think we're tough cookies and we can get this done. So yeah, well, and that's true. Karen says that the Democrats will be meeting there, and that could be. And I know that Jordan Genso works there, so that's he's he's a big part of that party. So yes, he'll hold the door. I doubt he'll do it for us. So we would either need a RE/MAX realtor that will agree to kind of be there with us every month, or we're just going to have to meet here. Yeah, yuck. I echo Karen, yuck. Let's see. Mark says he's ready for the endorsement convention in March because not, it would give most, now I think it's supposed to be, now it would give most of the statewide candidates more time to campaign, but also hopefully will be party unity. I hope so. Mark, by the way, I need you to write something down. Chair at LivingstonRepublicans.com. Tyler will put it up on the screen for us. So, the email? My email, yeah. Chair at Livingston Republicans. Mark, I want you to email me a number I can reach out to you. You and I want to chat with you. So prior to that, yes, not only. Okay, I get it. Okay, so yes, where are you? Right here. Mark, write that down and give me an email, send me your number so I can chat with you, okay? So let's see. So where were we? We were talking about, so I need a RE/MAX realtor that can open up that place, or we'll start meeting here at the Victory Center in Hamburg. It is what it is, right? We just have to roll with it till we can find some place to meet. I'm in discussions. I had some plans kind of ripped out from under my feet. So now we have to do a different fundraiser for the spring. We're going to do a Mardi Gras Lincoln Day. We're going to do that. So on not Mardi Gras, Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo party. And we're going to have that on May 5th. And we're going to have that at the Cross W. And we're going to, there will not be a podcast that night. And we're going to have Mexican food and Mexican this and Mexican. It's going to be Mexican theme, much less like our cowboy theme, except it's going to be Mexican. And we're going to have great Mexican food and things like that. So we're going to do that. And then, so that's coming on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. And Joni Kanam, the Joni the Great, is going to kind of, we're going to gather a committee, obviously. So we're going to need, I think she talk to Mary Beth Petrikis. The biggest loss of my life at this moment is Mary Beth Petrikis needs to take a break from running the silent auction. She did a phenomenal job. So anybody that's watching, if you're willing to do the silent auction, if you're willing to take that on, I'm sure Mary Beth would give you the direction on how to do it. But that does a great. Jay says to make do with a small space, do two one at 4 and one at 7. Yeah, maybe that would be really hard to do, but I don't think we need to. I think it'll be tight here, but I don't think we need to. I think if it gets to the point where we really cannot fit in here at all, then we'll have to do something else. So for the time being, unless we can find a realtor, we're just going to do it here. So we also have what else is coming up? So our February 7th meeting. So on the 26th, the convention, call to convention, should have gone out today. It did. Bill's on it. Bill said he's on it. Then he's on it. So the call to convention went out today. And so you'll get that in the next day or so. That if I've had a good response for people that want to go to state convention. Our county convention is February 26th, and at this convention, delegates will vote on those who want to go to state convention on the 28th of March. Now, some differences this year. in order to go to the state convention, this is true whether you're a voting delegate, whether you go as an alternate, or whether you go as a visitor. It doesn't matter. To get in the door, it's $50. So you'll probably, I don't know how they're going to do it. I doubt, maybe they accept cash at the door or checks. I suspect there's going to be a registration process online where you then pay your $50. So, okay. But you have to be willing to do that. So you will be getting that if you are a delegate, not if you're running for a delegate, but if you're a delegate now, and you want to be considered to be elected to go to state party, send me, we're going to go right back to that email. Send me an email telling me you want to go to state convention, you want to be on the ballot to go to state convention, and that you're okay with paying the $50. I really need to hear that. If you don't say you're okay, then I'm going to have to write back and say, are you okay with the $50? So please don't make me do that. I just don't want to get a bunch of people elected and then at the last minute go, wait a minute, I'm not paying $50 for that. Then that throws everything off. So let's just do it. I don't know if this is going to matter to people or not. I know that I haven't had the rush for it I usually would. So, but then again, the call to convention hasn't gone out. So anyway, I think we get 66 or 62 or something. I don't remember the number offhand. Bill, if you're watching, how many, not the at-large, not the automatics, but the elected ones, how many do we get? So we'll be doing that on February 26th. We'll be voting. So, that'll be interesting. And for that, we're going to have the endorsement committee, the endorsement convention in Novi in March. And basically that's where we're going to endorse, but not fully, this is a tricky situation. We are endorsing an SOS candidate. We're endorsing an AG candidate, and we're endorsing, what do you call them? Board of Regents for Wayne State, for U of M, for MSU, that sort of thing. So they're endorsement committees, and then they have, whoever wins that, they can start running as though they are the primary winner, but they still have to be confirmed at the official primary in August, at the convention in August. So I was talking to my budget guy. We have 3 conventions this year. Oh my Lord. We have the endorsement convention. We have another county convention in August because new delegates get elected at the primary voting day in August 6th or whatever that is this year. And then those delegates get to elect another group to go to the state convention to confirm who we endorsed. And then we have to have another county convention in the end of the year to elect the new executive committee for 27 and 28. So whoever's on the executive committee now, including the officers, all of our stuff expires at the end of the year. So either we run again, or we say we're not running and other people need to run, or we get challenged, or we don't get challenged and we just get reelected. Either way, that kind of stuff, that we start to worry about that as we get closer to the election. Right now we're not. But then we have to elect people that are going to go to the state convention after the 1st, because we also have to elect a new state Michigan Republican Party chair. So and who knows what that's going to happen there. So anyway, so that's all stuff that has to happen. But that's 3 conventions, and FYI, they're expensive. They're expensive. They're probably $1,000 per convention. So every time we have a county convention, there's $1,000 we got to spend. By the time you get your room, and then you get your AV and your software and everything. It's maybe that, $1,200-1,300. So because you got to get the voting software and everything. So yeah, it's expensive. It's no easy thing. And I have to publicly thank Bill Reiber, because he's running with it. I have made it my habit to not to micromanage my teams. I get a chair, I kind of get it going with them a little bit. Once I see they're on a roll, I just get out of their way. And he is running with things, and he's on top of things and has his checklist, and he's doing a fabulous job. And this surprises nobody, but it's very, very, it's very comforting to have that kind of skill and professionalism and ability, as one of your, I've said this before and I'll say it again. When you look at our teams, our fundraising teams, I'm sorry, not our fundraising teams, our LCRP teams, we have our membership team, Sharon and Mike Staton, who are rocking it out. They're putting the time in. They've come up with some ideas. They're implementing them. They're, really working to meet anybody. I love watching them at a breakfast or a dinner. As soon as somebody new walks in, they've got it on their radar, and before long, they're over there. Hello, I'm Sharon. I'm Mike. I'm the membership chair. How can we do this? Whatever. So it is terrific. It is terrific that they do that, and they're just so awesome at it. Paul Funk, shout out to Paul, is doing a great job on our admin. That's a behind the scenes kind of thing, and you don't really see what they do until until you start meeting with them and you say, okay, I need this, I need that, and you see all this stuff and you go, whoa, look at all this stuff, or the website, the mailings, the flyers out, they're out quickly. He doesn't make anybody wait or, follow. He's very good at it. So shout out to Paul Funk for doing that. We have Joni Econom, who is, on fire, as she's a spitfire anyway, but she's doing a great job as far as recruiting volunteers. I'm hoping she's watching. Sometimes she's watching from a site that I can't see. I haven't seen her post anything, but she's doing a great job. You've got, and I've said it before, you got Sharon Lalio and Marcia Dix and Connie Robinson, who are taking over they work with the current delegates that are elected. They help, bring them together, give them information, help them develop relationships, gives them a place to ask questions, gives them people to call. They're doing a great job. I've said that many times on here. Norris Hardiman, who is taken over the delegate recruitment. So, Connie and Marcia and Sharon are over here, and they're taking delegates that have been elected and working with them, kind of taking them, like helping them learn what's going on, meet the candidates, all that stuff. But we still have to have somebody that's bringing in new delegates. Well, Norris Hardiman's taking that over, and boy, is he rocking it out. He's doing a good job. He's got Bill Reiber, and he's got Ron Gillard working with him, and off the top of my head, I apologize to whoever I left out, but he's there. Norris is doing a great job, and it's good because this allows me to focus on the things that I do. And I don't keep my fingers in this stuff. I get them kind of going. We sit down, we figure out the parameters. We're not going to go any farther than here. We're not going to go across these lines. Go. What do you need from me? You need something from me, let me know. Other than that, I'll go to your first couple of meetings and then I'll get out of the way. And this is what's going on all over the place. We have, Lance, yes. Oh, Norris is watching. Oh, so you saw that little pat on the back. So Lance Schumacher's the other one on the delegate. I knew I was forgetting somebody. You also have the finance committee, which Norris has just joined, and I appreciate that. Jim Detling, who is our treasurer. I started to say something earlier, but Russ gets going on a roll. It's hard to interject still sometimes, but he was talking about the treasurer being hard to find. And I tell you, we have one of the best. Jim Detling is just fantastic. He, does what he's supposed to do. He doesn't overstep. He doesn't fight you on anything. He, has questions. He's good to work with. I can say, hey, can we do this or can we not do this? And, he doesn't interject drama into it. If we can do it, he says, yeah, we can do it. And I'll say, is there pitfalls? Well, there might be here, there. And so, we can have that good conversation. And I know he does. I don't ever walk away wondering, did he pay that on time? Did he enroll us on time? Did he follow through on that? I just walk away knowing he's got it. And so that is like outstanding. And then we have Tom Econom and Doug Moore and Don Atkins and Ron Gillard and Norris and Dwayne Stokes, unfortunately, just had to step down because of work. Joe Laginus, all of them are our finance committee. And again, Tom, I've, got them going, and I come in when I needed to, but I try not to, interfere with what they're doing. I basically come in on the side sometimes and just say, okay, what do you need from me or whatever. They make me make decisions sometimes. They needed me for the budget committee so I could tell them what I wanted to do or what I wanted money for next year. So I was able to do that. Some of the budget changes. I heard it go off, Mark, thanks. Some of the changes, some of the things we're doing a little differently. There's some things we won't be doing, and that'll all go off in the EC. You'll get your budget report. But some of the things we're getting, like I said, we're going to do the swag. So I'm going to try and do 3 events. I can't talk about the third one. We got the Reagan Day, we got the Lincoln Day. I'm trying to do one kind of in the middle. I met on it today, so I'm not going to really get into it till I get the approval. They, got to talk to people to get permission. But if this works out, it's going to be a blast. We're going to do something that is a little, how I like to do things. Just push the envelope, do something a little different, make it fun. So that's how we're going to do it. Very much like the cowboy thing. We'll probably do something in the fall. Our Reagan Day will probably be, what do you think of, Halloween themed? It's going to be October. Let's do costumes. I think that'd be fun. So we'll have Cinco de Mayo, and then we'll have the costumes in October. We'll do something a little different in the middle of the year. So we'll see. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but boy, it's going to be fun if we can pull it off. So I'll keep you updated on that. Let's see, what else? Who else do I have? What other fabulous people do I have? And I want to, Lisa R., who's rocking out the fourth Thursday. We don't have our fourth Thursday in February, just to remind everybody, that is our convention, so we probably won't have a dinner. But we will have one in March. And Lisa, if you're watching, I had a request yesterday to do El Toro in Brighton. Joni said she went there and the food was great, and I've been there before and it's got good food, Mexican food. And they have like a separate room on the side, and she asked them, could they accommodate us? And they said absolutely. They got a separate room, like a side room there. So you might want to look into that for either March or April or whenever. But El Toro in Brighton, Mexican food, that's always one of my favorites. So I always go to those. But so that's going on. We're looking for committee members. Always looking for committee members. We have. We're gonna be needing in the summer is when all the door knocking's coming, and so we could use people that will open up or sit at the Victory Center here and kind of be here for people that come in and out to do door knocking. I think a lot of that will happen in the fall. I'm sorry, not in the fall. On Saturdays and probably not Sundays, but Saturdays. So anybody that has 1, 2, 3 Saturdays a month, that's a lot. One every other month, one Saturday a month, whatever you can do. If you can commit to some time to kind of be here and make sure that we have the door open for our walkers. Make sure that we set out the water, because we buy cases of water for our walkers and things like that. Make sure that they can be there, so when we have the groups that come in to do lit bags and things like that, that you can be here. But we'll definitely have some. We're definitely going to need some help on those events we've just talked about. We're going to need help on that. We have, we need decorations. We need people to help serve food. We need really need people to help clean up. We always clean up before we go, and so that's something. So anyway, we need people like that, and so our next breakfast is the second Tuesday of the month. So watch our Facebook page. Our Facebook, by the way, we have 2 Facebook pages. One is Livingston County Republican Party. That is a public page. Go on there. That just gets posted on, and anybody can go to it. You don't have permission. Then we have the private member only Facebook page, and that's Livingston County Republicans, and then in parentheses it says official. So that's the one. If you're on that one gets everything. The public one gets some stuff, not other things, because our members, if you're, you don't have to be a member to be on that page, but you do have to answer some questions. Don't apply to be a member of the page of the Facebook group, the official one, and skip the questions. You have to ask. You have to answer. Do you? I think it's, do you live in the county? Are you a Republican? Are you a delegate? Are you, do you work in whatever? And have you ever come to our events, that sort of thing? Which ones? So, you have to answer some questions. So if you skip them, you're probably going to be declined. So, thank you for clarifying this. You're always curious who's watching the Facebook, you mean, or this one, anybody can come to. If you're talking about the Right Side podcast, that's on YouTube. You can get to that through Livingston County Republican Party. You can get to it from my Facebook, I think. Yes, my Facebook. You can get to it from YouTube. You can get to it from Rob Rods. So it comes from a lot of different ways. But if you're talking about each separate page, So the one is public, the other one is private. You have to be a member. Now, having said that, do we have spies in there? Oh yeah. Casey Helton, Casey Helton, Livingston County GOP's, Livingston County Democratic's version of AOC is, she once in a while will post something, a screenshot from something that happens in that page. So yeah, we got spies. I have no idea who they are. And I have no idea how to flush them out. So, we just still have to be careful, but it's not public. The general public can't see it. That's why you can't share things. That's why you can't share things from inside that page. You can't share them out because they're members only, so it won't share out. So anyway, but you could copy and paste something, or screenshot it. You could do that, or snip it on a computer, on a PC. But anyway, so we can always use volunteers. So if you are wanting to, if you're right down here, right there, there's the address right there to become a member. And I cannot tell you how important that membership is. That's how we fund what we do. All that we're talking about, funding Brian, about putting on events, all that stuff, that's where we get the money, right down there at the membership. Our events help, but that stuff goes, that's a pass-through. That goes right to the candidates. We either buying lit or signs or whatever we can do. So that right there is how we're able to do what we can do. So if you can join I think $60 is our low ball, and we go all the way up to the Trump level at $5,000. So whatever you can do it. The higher, the more money, the higher the amount you go, the tickets to the events and things like that come. So, those are always fun to have. But anyway, join our membership, start coming to our dinners, start coming to our party meetings. Anybody, again, I'm going to go right back to this email address that I keep putting up there. This email address right there is how you get any, I don't consider myself elite. I'm pretty approachable, and I will meet with anybody or talk to anybody on the phone or do a Zoom or a Microsoft Teams with anybody. You got questions, if you like this show, if you like what we do, or if you just want to know, call me. I have, or email me, and I'll email me a phone number. I'll call you. Tell me a good time to call. I'll call you. I really will. I always do. And I'm happy to meet you for coffee. I'm happy to bounce, answer your questions, or talk to you about things. Get your ideas. So there's a lot of things that you can do, a lot of questions you might have, but you really should come out and hang out with us. We are a lot of fun. Our groups have fun. Years ago, I went through something called the Fish Philosophy, and the Fish Philosophy is the training, the volunteer management, and not volunteer management, but people like PR capabilities that came out of Pike's Place Fish Market in Seattle. That's the place where they kind of throw the fish. And they tell the story of how they start off by saying, I'm here at 5 a.m. and I'm putting ice down for fish. And I go home and I smell like fish. And I work with fish all day. And I see fish and I smell fish and I touch fish. And it's fish. And there's nothing exciting about working with fish. So they have the same guys there. And they decided to make a joke that when one of the guys yelled out, because you've got guys behind the counter and then you've got guys that kind of work the front, and all the fish are laid out on the front and all the ice, and you got guys out there interacting with customers and they're just trying to sell, and then they kind of yell to the guys behind the counter so that somebody wants to buy mussels and it's going to go to Minnesota. And he'll say 2 pounds of mussels, to go to Minnesota, basically saying it's going to be mailed, it's got to be packed, it's got to be shipped. So they decided to mess with their boss one day just because they were feeling sassy. And they said when he yells out something, because he was the one out there, when he yells out something, we're all going to yell it back at him. And so they did. So it was like, all right, mussels for Minnesota. And they all yelled back, mussels for Minnesota. And everybody kind of stopped, and everybody was laughing, and they started doing things like that, little funny things. And the way I understand it, I don't know if it was an outside consultant or somebody sat them down and said, all right, if you were world famous, let's just say you're world famous, what would you do differently? All right, how would you do something different if you were world famous? That's an intriguing question. So they began kind of brainstorming, how would we do it differently? And so it kind of gave him the permission to, and they just said, if anything goes, anything legal, but if anything goes, what would you do? And they started brainstorming, and they came up with the throwing of the fish. So now when you buy the 5 pounds of mussels in the bag, they say 5 pounds of mussels flying away, meaning it's getting shipped, and then he throws it to a guy back there, the catcher, who catches it, and then of course they're repeating it and catching it, and they're throwing these giant fish, and a guy's got paper and he's catching it. So then they take people from the audience back there and they try to throw them, and of course it goes right through their feet. So whatever, it's like, but they interact, and they started doing all these crazy things. And they started hiring people with personality just to go out and do nutty things. And now they talk about how everybody comes now just for the experience. It's an experiential thing. And then they say they come here to have fun. They come here to laugh. They come here to interact. And oh, by the way, they're buying fish. Yes. So this is, outstanding. So just so people understand, when I come up with something crazy, or I come up with something funny, or I come up with something different, that's what I'm doing. I'm fishing. You can't fish the way you fish. I can't throw Republican koozies or something, It's not the throwing, it's the stepping outside. But they say there's 4 parts to it, 4 principles of the fish philosophy. One is called make their day. When you're with somebody, or you're doing something, if you can make their day some way, whether it's recognizing them for something, or thanking them for something, or complimenting on something, make their day. Principle 1. Principle 2, I think, is be there. And that just basically means you have to, don't, if you're with somebody or with a group, don't wander off and don't focus on something that's going on at home or something that you got to do tomorrow. Focus on them. Do this eye contact with people. Be there with them. Be there in the moment. Be present with them. Third one is play. Actually, that actually might be one. Play. If there's a way you can do what you can do by playing, do it. It will make the time go by faster. It'll make people enjoy it more. But play is one, and that's something I do all the time. And Mr. Drick will tell you, I do that at home constantly. To me, I can do the dishes, or I can do the dishes and mock Jay at the same time and make him laugh. So I'm always going to do that. Or I can walk by and take some dishes from the living room over to the sink, but it's just much more fun as I go by and, poke Jay in the ear on the way out. I just do things like that. I may, whatever it is, I play. If you play, you got to get the work done, but you play and people will play back and it becomes fun. And then the last one, and this is, I think, the most important one, and it's called choose your attitude. And that's huge, because I don't think there are a lot of people, or I should say it the other way around. I think that there are many people that don't understand that you can choose your attitude. You are not a victim to it. You are not a slave to it. It doesn't have to direct you. You can have an attitude because you've chosen to have the attitude. So when you can have a terrible day, but if you choose to say, all right, my attitude is not going to be as bad as my day. My attitude is still going to be good, even though things are going wrong, I'm still going to do it. It makes a huge difference, especially if this isn't your business, but it doesn't have to be your business. It could also be your, organization. So the things that I do, and if nobody's perfect at these things and nobody remembers them all the time, but I try to, and I try real hard when I do things to use that fish philosophy when I do them, because it just engages people and it makes it fun for people. If people enjoy what they're doing, if they feel like what they did was valid, it was meaningful to them, they'll do it again. So we need people in order for the Republican Party to work. We need the people. So, and for that to work, we need people that will invest in it. So we need people that'll stay with it. So anyway, fish philosophy, it's a great thing. I think I might do that. I do what I call the chair's perspective. It's a little training kind of thing, something I've learned over the years or something I used to teach. And I talk about stuff, and it's either processes, how things really work, or things I've learned. I just try to share that at every meeting, and at our executive committee meeting, I had people tell me that they improved, that was one of the things, because we went around the table. One thing you want to keep, one thing we got to fix, one thing, I sat on the hot seat. All right, everybody, take your shot. I need one thing I do well and one thing I need to work on. And I got some great feedback. Unless you ask for it, you're never going to get it. And you can't fix what you don't know, right? So I'm a tough old bird. Bring it on. If you have something you think I should do better, tell me, and I'll work on it. And I really will. So, but this is one of the things I try to engage people, and I try to really get them in. So anybody that wants to come in and fish with us, you're more than welcome. You will enjoy it. So please reach out to me at the email address, and I'll reach out back. So Mark Ashley Price, Madam Chair, you're saying words of wisdom about attitude. If more people remembered that, I think people inherently know it, but I think sometimes you can get caught up in emotion and or in a situation and forget it. But it's easy to not remember, but you really can choose your attitude. You can decide, I'm going to be fun today. I'm going to be lighthearted. I'm going to be thankful today. I'm going to be grateful today. I'm going to brainstorm today. I'm going to be contemplative today. I'm going to use introspection today. I'm going to really be focused today. I can choose that. I don't have to hope that the day I need to be focused, that happens to be the wild card that gets pulled out of the hat. It is something I can direct, and everybody can. It takes some practice, but it does work. And when you realize that, you empower yourself in a way that nobody can touch, and then suddenly things can be falling apart, but you are just going. You've chosen your attitude. You're locked in. Everybody else could be falling apart because they've forgotten that they can choose their attitude too. But anyway, that's going to be done. So, all right. Well, I think I've kept Tyler here late enough with me. So appreciate the conversation. Appreciate the viewership. This podcast, has come to mean a lot to a lot of people. I constantly get, calls or texts or emails, or when I see somebody, they say they enjoy it. If there's somebody or something you want to see on this, that email, I posted it enough time. I posted it 1,100 times by now. So go ahead and let me know. Who do you want to see? Who knows Perry Johnson? Now we have a new candidate. Got to invite him, right? So let's get Perry Johnson on here. If somebody can email me a contact number for him, I'd appreciate it. I want to invite him onto the podcast. So see what he has to say, see what's new. I really want to ask him, okay, you're a qualified guy, you've got the means and the ability. Why now? Why didn't you start this 6 months ago? Don't know. I'm not saying he's wrong. I just want to know because, I mean, that's sort of a question that's begged, you know. So anyway, all right. Well, have a great night and choose your attitude all week. Choose the attitude that's great. See you next week, guys.